Hi, I'm Craig Wilson at techcentral.co.za, and today I'm looking at the Olympus Tough TG-810. It's the top of Olympus's compact range that's designed for all sorts of weather, and it's also punted as being shock-proof, it's crush-proof, freeze-proof, pretty much everything-proof. It's also dust-proof, and the idea is it's clearly aimed at outdoorsy sorts who don't want to have to think about whether they've put their camera back in the bag or put the lens cap on, and whose cameras are likely to endure quite a lot of abuse. If you look at the actual camera itself, it is quite heavy for a compact, but considering all of the reinforced materials that have gone into this, that's understandable. And it's not particularly heavy. Yes, you can see around everything, around the flash, around the lens, there are metal reinforcements, and it's even got rivets and so on to make it look as tough as its name suggests. In terms of the waterproofing, it's got an extensive collection of seals on the side here, so to actually access the battery or the card slot or the HDMI out cable for that matter, you have to begin by unlocking the side port and then popping it open. And if we have a look at it, as you can see, it's rather thick, and as the Olympus is claimed to be waterproof to 10 meters, that's understandable. It's also got a number of seals here, and the actual battery and card slot are quite recessed as a result. In terms of controls and screen, the back rear screen is also protected by a sort of high impact proof glass, and it's actually a lovely display. It boasts 920,000 pixels, and it's a 3-inch display, and supposedly it includes anti-reflection, anti-glare materials and so on to make it more visible in outdoor and bright light conditions. Also see there's an abundance of information. This can obviously be toned down by fiddling the info button, but it even tells you the air pressure, your altitude above sea level, and as you can see flashing here, and as mentioned on the top of the device, it also has a built-in GPS receiver. Now while that's great in theory, in practice we found that it takes an awfully long time to connect, and the other downside of GPS, of course, is that it's a massive drain on battery. And that's a big problem, particularly if you want to be out and about for extended periods, or you're the sort who likes multi-day hikes, and who doesn't want to have to carry half a dozen proprietary, expensive batteries with you. So that's one of the features we didn't like too much. Another thing I wasn't particularly fond of is these controls. They're rather fiddly. As you can see, these aren't actually buttons on the side. This is just a 4-way controller. And I found that actually going into settings and navigating between them with this little button was quite fiddly, and I often found myself pushing the wrong button by mistake. Similarly with the zoom toggle at the top here, it's just unusual feeling, and it's very narrow. And with these buttons being rather small, it's just a curious decision, because Olympus have gone as far as to include things like the ability to tap the camera to change various custom settings that the user prefers. And the idea there is that you'll be able to use it with gloves on. But why then are the buttons quite so small? Anyway, what Olympus is really selling this as is a tough, all sort of weather, all duty kind of camera. And so we thought there's only one way to properly test that, and the waterproof claim is 10 meters. We don't have 10 meters of water to play with, but we do have a bucket. So as you can see, camera is on, everything's functioning, the lens is open, and if we pop it in a bucket, it should still take a picture. And there we are, we can clearly see the flash firing, and there's the picture of the inside of a bucket. Olympus also claim that the TG-810 can withstand up to 100 kilograms of weight. So I'm pleased to report I don't weigh 100 kilograms, so we'll put that to the test as well. So far so good, no ominous cracking noises. Pick it up again. You can see it's nice and soaked. Turn it on, and it's working just as it should be.